Welcome to Boxing Fans Talk TV. I'm your host, TDT. You can refer to me as Miss T. Y'all saw the thumbnail. What the hell is Danny talking about? Before we get into it, let's turn to. Welcome back to Boxing Fans Talk TV. Again, I'm your host, TDT. You can refer to me as Miss T. Y'all saw the thumbnail. What is Danny talking about? But before we get into that, y'all know I like to start my show off with a water check. And today I'm up 12 ounces. 12 bottles. I've drank 12 bottles thus far. And I got room for more. So that's 96 ounces today. That don't mean I always drink 96 ounces. And I always say it might sound redundant to you guys, but water is so important to human life, to animal life, to plant life, to all life, that I like to start my show off with it and emphasize the importance. So if it sounds redundant, work with me, because somebody out there that's watching who never heard me say this, because I get people watching on Facebook all the time. So 96 ounces. And I like for you guys to chime in how much water you drink. It's good to drink water, as I always say, first thing in the morning. If you think of your body as an engine, it needs to get started, get revved up, get primed up, and it needs that lube. Water is the lube. At night before you lay down and actually close your eyes. I'm not talking about you're laying down and just looking at TV. I mean, water don't hurt, so you keep drinking water as long as you got room. But before you close your eyes, make sure you drink at least a cup of water. And if you don't drink any other water during the day, those two should be mandatory. You should always drink at least one before you get up in the morning and do anything, and when you go to bed at night. And some of us are on medication. I can't take my pills without water. So it's unavoidable for me to drink water first thing in the morning when I open my eyes. The trick was drinking it right before I go to sleep, because you get caught up in your day and, whatever. But that's how important water is. Now, having said that, drink y'all water. Eric Gomez is in the building with the bomb squad. What's up, Eric? Salute to you, King. Demetrius Wright is in the building. Salute to you, King. He says, salute, Queen T. Missed you yesterday. Blessings. yes, I made a conscious decision, Demetrius. I'm not messing with football. I ain't gonna mess with it. It's too many people that loving that game. Like I can walk away. I ain't even look at it, but I take it that the Rams won or they beat out San Francisco. I know Kyle from the boxing section. My condolences to him. But who was it? Kansas City Chiefs and the Cincinnati Bengals. I think Cincinnati won. I didn't watch it. I usually, like I said, it's easier for me to watch inside the NFL. I didn't even watch that. But I was like, I'm not gonna get in nobody's way of football. It's an important day. We're getting down to the wire. Hey, that's the American pastime. Bump what you heard about the baseball. Football is America's pastime. So I just wanted to let everybody have a free day of football without any interruptions from the peanut gallery. You know what I'm saying? But you say you drank 74 ounces of water. That's good, King. Keep up the good work. Salute the lovely and beautiful Madam Queen Miss T. Salute to you too, Macadocious Mac of the South is in the building. Was Poppin' King. Demetrius said salute to you, Mac. And Demetrius said, hit them damn likes. That was me putting my stank on it, but he said, hit the likes. You get the message. And he said, what was it? The Bengals versus Rams. I guess that is the Super Bowl this year. Love Face XYZ is in the building. He said online strips without clothes. What the hell? I don't even know what that is, but that's cool. I see you. I see you. Salute to you. Thank you for joining. I don't know if it's a troll or what. Online strips without clothing. But anywho, but yeah, that's why I didn't come on. I know I always say I'm gonna come on. Oh shit! Look, it's not letting me. Was this a damn attack? I was trying to take that mess down. Okay, I don't know. Like what's going on with that particular thing. It's weird looking with the green arrow and the check and everything, but maybe you are a person. Salute to you. Oh, it's spam. Gotcha, King. Gotcha. Yeah. I don't know why they be wanting me. Why y'all want tea? Anywho, so yeah, that's the only reason. I just, it's football. I'm not gonna even bother with a Super Bowl. I mean, like I said, that's American thing right there, and it's important. I wouldn't bother too much with March Madness, but I can't, like, on the big ticket items when you're down to the last of the Mohicans. I might, take a little break because again, I know where everybody's mind is at, or the NBA championship now. Not that I don't like baseball. I don't like to watch it and I don't play it. But I know some people like baseball. So if it's a World Series, the big ticket items, I'm gonna fall back and let America be America. That's what I'm gonna do. So the thing that I want y'all to think about, getting right into it, the thing that I want y'all to think about when I'm doing like my shows is I like to think of things common sense wise, logical wise. And I don't always do it, but most of the time in regular life, I always pose questions and I pose the question good enough to make a person say, and rethink their position on things. And that's what I'm gonna just start doing. Cause at first I said I wasn't gonna try to do that because one thing I don't want to do is make a person think like I'm thinking. I could tell you what I'm thinking and I'll tell you why I think it. And if you see things my way, rock with me. If you don't, that's why I can say stuff like, I'm not buying no PBC fights. I'm not buying them till I get the fight that I want, which is Earl Spence and Bud Crawford. Now, never once have y'all heard me tell y'all, don't do it. Don't get that fight. Cause y'all are y'all and I am who I am. Y'all have your own mind to do what y'all want. So just keep that in mind when I be coming on to the show. because I have a lot of people be like, girl, what you talking about? But that's just the way I talk. I didn't have to explain that, but people ask, I explain. I want to say shout outs to my Facebookers. I see you guys. I see you guys. Thank you for watching, but I prefer that you come into the actual broadcast, the actual YouTube channel, and hit like, share, and subscribe, especially if you haven't before. If you subscribe once, you don't have to always keep subscribing, but I do need you to hit them likes, 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 likes. Jump on that mug, embrace it, become one with it, hit the likes. You know what I'm saying? When you come into the building. Now, I has a problem with people in general, but grown men especially, using other people's names, other men's names to boost their own. Now, y'all know that I'm a history major, and I've never read in history. I read about all types of historical things or whatever. And everybody in historical, I'm gonna say celebrity. No, how do I say this? Every famous historical event or person or whatever has nothing to do with warriorhood. But we do know that we learn about people like Alexander the Great, and other people like Charlemagne the Great, and just famous people in general, whether they're here from our country or overseas or whatever. But the one thing that was never prevalent to me outside of somebody saying, like, start with the Bible, you have this person, and they be like, that person begot that person begot that person, meaning you are your father's child. That was your claim to fame. And what you did with that fame was on you. And so the same thing in history. Some people get their prevalence or their relevance through the mud, and some people rely on others. I'm not with the rely on others. I can't stand it, especially in 2021. It should have never been in the 20th century for that matter. So you got a lot of boxers. It's becoming like a thing. And I was like, when did this start? Where did this come from? Who started this? So using other people's names to boost their own self up and this, that, and the other. Now, the only time in the boxing world that this is acceptable is when you, as the boxer, faced an opponent and you using his name as, look, this is the business I already took care of. That's how good I am. I beat this motherfucker. But if you using other people's name and you haven't even faced that person yet, shame on you. It's not, it doesn't convey manhood, not to me. Um, Women, you hardly ever see them doing this in the boxing world. This is a thing that's going on in the boxing world for men, and I know a lot of men are mad in this country because they feel like they're being demasculated. Well, this is a way that you guys are demasculating yourselves, and I'm talking about the people who engage in this type of stuff. I hope y'all following me. So this is a key phrase. I want to. When did this become a thing? Is it due to the NBA NBF policy? Like, we know Bob had that. We know others participate in it. I'm gonna give you a something you can akin to. Um, in politics, they have what they call the Southern strategy. I don't know if a lot of y'all familiar with that, but basically, you're taking a group of people, you're blaming them, pointing the finger at them, easy stereotyping stuff to get another group mad enough that they can vote for you when you fucking everybody over. That is what Republicans call or the Southern strategy. The one who exemplified it the best was Newt Gingrich. A lot of this is before a lot of your time. Some of you guys young enough, y'all don't remember this stuff. Some of us old enough, we do. Newt Gingrich did it best. All you gotta do is blame niggas and point to them as the reason why we have the ills in the world, and you will get a whole group of people that probably wouldn't have voted. And if they did, probably wouldn't have voted for you. The people who start that Southern strategy. Well, the same thing with the NBF policy and all that. They all kind of similar in the fact that it's a policy is directed at a group to downgrade that group but at the same time, they get their prevalence and relevance off the backs of that group, i.e., men taking other men's name and boosting themselves up for whatever, like to make themselves relevant and prominent. Don't y'all see that in Ryan Garcia? Now, when I get off the show, I always think about the things I said on the show, and I try to make sure I have relevance. I try to make sure that I was fair because I'm all about fairness, right? Above anything else. And y'all know how hard I ride young Ryan. And I was like, is he the only person that's doing that? What the stories I got to tell you today? My answer was no, he's not. A lot of people do it low key, less than him, or very like hidden, so to speak. He's just more blatant with his, out front with his, and maybe that's him trying to be different. Being maybe that shit works for him, but it wouldn't work for everybody else. But I can point out where people do it other than him, and I'm telling you, it's despicable, and we should make, in my opinion, hold them accountable to stuff like that. How we hold them accountable, that I haven't, honest to God, I haven't figured out. Because again, I can tell you, I don't patronize people who do that shit. But to each his own. You guys have to figure out how you will hold them accountable. But it's sickening. It's conduct unbecoming a man. It really is. And nothing makes you look more like a bitch than that to me. And I don't even like to talk in those terms. But it does. It does. It does. Macadocious says, salute Demetrius, my brother, my king. So Danny Garcia claims he wants a rematch with Keith Thurman. Now, we always talked about Keith Thurman as being the creme de la creme. At one point in time, he was. And to me, I don't see that he fell that far down the ladder because he only been beat once by the legendary Manny Pacquiao. And full disclosure, y'all know I don't like Pacquiao. I consider him a cheat, but if he's a cheater, he's the best cheater ever was because he never got caught. But he is legendary, 8th division title holder. You know, what can you say? The dude is he's gonna be in the Hall of Fame. He's legendary. And for if you're gonna lose a fight to somebody, I guess you gotta lose to them since he was at the top. As I say, the creme de la creme. We always talk about Sean Porter having the best resume in the welterweight division. Well, I will submit to you that Keith Thurman also has the best resume in the welterweight division. And next to him, you can place Danny Garcia and so forth and so on and all that. Why do I say I could put those three at the top? Because there's no question about Sean Porter. I don't think I would get a debate on that one. But Keith Thurman fought everybody too, who was at the top. And when Keith Thurman was reigning supreme, his next best opponent was Mayweather, who really threw Spence in his path as like a gatekeeper. I said it back then. I didn't have a show then, but I said it back then that it looked like Floyd trying to throw barriers in front of these young lions that wanted to get at him. And Keith, as y'all remember, wanted to get at Floyd real bad. Keith had fought everybody. He had fought everybody, to include Sean Porter and Danny Garcia. Now, Danny Garcia, he's fought Keith, he's fought Sean, now he's fought Spence. So one can say the same thing about him. I'm not going to talk about Spence's resume or Bud's resume, but just them three right there. So Danny Garcia claims he wants a rematch with Thurman. And the first thing I thought is, didn't Danny say he was moving up to 154? And when Danny even said that, I was like, I don't know who he can beat up there. Because that was the one division, I've said this before, that was Trump tight. Excuse the pun on words. It was Trump tight. Like damn near everybody in that division was a beast. And I was like, you sure you want to move up there? Like, In my head, my first mind was like, you sure you didn't mean you want to move back down? You want to go back down to junior light, junior welterweight or something like that? But he said he wanted to move up. So we like, okay. His reasoning for moving up, I can't make the weight. That sounds reasonable. Okay. But now Danny said he wants a fight with Keith Thurman. So I'm like, what kind of time is Danny on? First of all, um, you putting the cart before the horse, so you got to tell us what you really gonna do, Danny. 154 or 147. Okay. It's obvious you're not gonna get a fight with Keith Thurman in these next couple of months because he's already obligated this month coming up. What tomorrow? What is it? His fight is February 5th. He's already obligated. So the closest you can get a fight with Keith Thurman will be this summer. Now, one narrative, one person could think, okay, if you're fighting, if Thurman is fighting on the 5th, let's say he wins. And to me, the closest you can get a fight with Thurman would be the summer, but you didn't say that, Danny. You said at the end of the year. So I don't know if you're thinking that Keith Thurman is going to get a fight with Spence or is going to get a fight with Bud, and you just want to avoid that train altogether. Another one bites the dust. This is how I'm looking at it, y'all. It's no guarantee that Bud is going to fight Keith Thurman, but we heard what the Keith Thurman request was. Well, he wanted Bud, but he said he wanted him in 8 months, which would have put it in the summer. And my advice, as if somebody's gonna listen to it, was that Bud, he ain't gotta fight nobody. He just wait on the winner of Ugas and Spence. But I say that about Spence and Ugas. Hey, you don't need to worry about nobody who ain't got a belt. Y'all chasing glory right now, and now is not the time to look backwards and scoop somebody up. That's derailment waiting to happen. So just concentrate on y'all three and do what y'all got to do. But if Thurman were to fight Bud, because Bud is feeling like I at least need to get a fight in so I don't be stagnated. What Danny thinking? He trying to put his bid ahead of time. Sound like Danny is after all campaigning at the 147 when he kept telling us it was like a forlorn conclusion that he was going to 154. But I guess he looked up there and said, "Who can I beat?" Let's go down the list, shall we? Just a couple of people. I don't think he can beat Lubin. I know he can't beat no Charlo. I know he can't beat Castano if Charlo had trouble with him. I don't think he could beat Jared Hurd. I don't think he could beat Laura. I don't think he could beat J Rock. Am I missing anybody? Am I missing anybody at 154? Danny, I don't know who you can fight. Because although you might walk around bigger than 154, your stature, your bone structure says 147 or 140 all day, every day. And if it's hard to make weight, I mean, welcome to getting older. That's what it is. I mean, it's a way to do it, but I guess, everybody, when they get over their 30s, they're gonna have these problems. But yeah, so when he said, I'm looking to fight Thurman at the end of the year, you're hoping Thurman can fight Bud and get that over with and possibly win, and then you take the winner and then you back on top. Like I told you, as oh yeah, Tony Harrison's Arias. Yes, these two guys. Thank you, Demetrius. I don't do let me stop right there. Is there anybody in this chat that think Danny Garcia can compete at 154? And I'm not even knocking Danny. I don't dislike Danny, but is there anybody in the chat that think he can? Because I'm not seeing it. I'm really not seeing it. If you watching behind the scenes, hit the like button. Don't just ear hustle and reckless eyeball. Hit that like button. But am I the only one that see it that way? I think he has a better chance to stay at 147 or go down. You said Danny may beat J Rock. J Rock is one of them hit and miss type people. When he focus, he focus. You know, but I always get an edge to J Rock. But I hear you, King. I hear you, Demetrius. He may beat him if J Rock ain't focused. But shit, he ain't gonna beat no Tony Harrison, in my opinion. And, you know, unless Danny's power carries with him, and he can do what he do, like punch within the punches and catch Tony Harris. Because I would never describe Tony Harris as a power puncher, but I'm sure he has pop on his punches and stuff. But you know, I just find it confused that you tell the world, your fans, that you're trying to go up to 154, and then you're trying to make a deal with Keith Thurman. And I know a lot of you don't like Keith no more, and that's okay. I mean, I still like him. He only got beat by one person, so I mean, but it's okay. You know, I ain't begrudging nobody how they feel, because everything is opinionated, and I get it. But yeah, he's confusing people, which leads me to ask the very important question that us as boxing fans need to know. Are you on your money campaign now? Because if you are, that's cool. Nobody begrudge any fighter. I didn't even begrudge Whitey Garcia for being on his money grab, but you got to at least tell the fans, let us know. Because if you're not trying to get the Super Bowl of boxing, then why we need to invest in you? That is my biggest question as a real boxing fan. If you're not trying to get the Super Bowl of boxing every year, all year, why do I need to pay my money for you? It's not my responsibility to line your pockets. Respect my black dollars. In fact, I'm gonna get a sign and put it up behind me. Respect my black dollars. He said, nah, Miss T, he lost his last fight and hasn't been the same after Charlo knocked him out. You talking about J Rock? Didn't he fight after that though? I thought he had some fights after that. Yeah, he just yeah. And I can't say it was luck with Charlo. I think Charlo and them they are forced to be reckoned with in that ring. It's just their behavior outside. Demetrius said one time is still in the building forefront. Exactamundo. Keith had to suffer many losses, and I have to see the age caught up with him and this, that, and the other. The dude said he had injuries, and you don't know how you will fight when you have injuries. It's just like I've been saying, and don't get mad at me, y'all. Don't get mad at me. And I ain't said this in a while, and I said this. Me being a total Bud fan, I actually been advocating that Spence wait a year. And I also said nobody should mess with his belts, because I just happen to believe, and I feel I'm right on this, but time will tell, that when you have an injury from your neck and above, they don't heal as fast as people like to say they do. There's healing, and there's healing when everything is cemented and you're good to go, you're back to normal. Two different type of healings. Two different. Now we have to go by what the man says, talking Errol Spence Jr. He's ready to go. That's what he said. But we gonna see. We really gonna see. And I don't want to say I told you so, but we'll see. I'm hoping you guys say I told you so, Miss T. Really hoping. Rosario beat him, and then some no-name fighter beat him too. Needs to retire, or he will be the gatekeeper. Sacramento. Rosario caught some bad raps too. There's some fights that I've clearly thought Rosario won. And I look at him as a good fighter. He just was never going to be. It's kind of like Rosario has the fate of Adrian Granados, another awesome fighter that just can't get right for him in his career. You know what I'm saying? And Yeah, I don't see Danny beating Rosario either. You know what I'm saying? So Danny, you too, as Earl say, you light in the ass. You are really too light in the ass to be going up there to 154, and you can't even deal with the 147s you got right where you at. See, we could say that about Bud too, that you light in the ass to go up to 154, but I believe Bud beats all of 147. So I mean, but to each his own. To each one of the fighters, if they believe they could do it, they could do it. Banana too, yep. That motherfucker. Yes. Him. Banana Rosario's body is worse than Thurman's. Mm. Banana Rosario's body is worse than Thurman's. Thurman looking real healthy. I don't know if y'all seen some pictures of him. He looking real healthy. He's a foodie. Ain't nothing wrong with being a foodie. Some of us in this world are foodies. Thurman is a foodie, but he, once you get a certain age, you can't be a foodie no more like you used to. You have a chef like to enjoy that type of shit. Once you get over your 30s, you're gonna have to really start thinking differently. 20s, you can take a chance, because you're young, you got youth on your side. But like Thurman's stomach problems has been due to his diet. I think he knows that. Well, I hope he knows that. And we'll find out on February 5th. Now, I said I'm not buying no PBC fights. Again, that's what I'm doing because they're going to respect my black dollars. But whether y'all get it or not, I don't begrudge you or anything. You know what I'm saying? That is just a decision I felt I had to make at this point. But I was spending so much money on PBC fights that everybody fights. And look how they was doing us as fans. I can't support that. I can't get behind that. And if you agree with me, rock with me. Rosario can't take body shots. Charlo and Lubin stopped him bad. Yep. Those stomach issues have a lot to do with how they eat. And mostly like I'm not even saying that in camp they don't eat right and all that. Surely they are because they dropping the weight to they doing what they gotta do. But it matters what you eat all year round. That stuff don't sneak up on you. It's a buildup of shit. If your gut is fucked up beforehand, your gut is fucked up beforehand. You know what I'm talking about, Demetri? You feel me? You feel me? When your gut is healthy, everything is healthy. When it's not, domino effect. So again, Danny is confusing us. I have to ask Danny, which one is it? 154 or 147? Because you can't do both. You cannot do both. Somebody else out there probably could do both, but you cannot do both. And you don't have that protection. You got the complexion, but you ain't got the protection for whatever reason. Keith ain't going nowhere. Y'all already know Keith ain't leaving the 147. That's where he lived. That's where he'll dwell to the end of his career. And it's all to the good. I believe Keith gonna put on the show. I'm mad that I'm on my kick. And so I can't support him, but I think I know somebody who get in the fight. If not, I'll find a sport bar that's gonna play the fight because they do. They'll play all other games and stuff, but they'll make sure they put boxing on. So hopefully I'll get to see it that way. But Danny, if you're gonna start going on this money campaign, do us a favor as boxing fans, let us know because it's not like you did us dirty all your career. Like I cannot begrudge somebody who, when they start going down that slope of their career, like your career is rising, 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 and eventually it goes down, down, down. And if you're on the down slope of your career, I can't begrudge you for, you know, handling your business like you want a money grab here and there. And that's the focal point of your career. Because in the end of the day, what sucks is to do all this arduous shit and then be broke at the end. And that sucks. So I don't begrudge nobody for trying to do their money grab. Just let us know as boxing fans that that's what it's about. And you did enough in your career. Well, we'll follow you. You are what 2 division world champion? We'll follow you. You did try to get it, you was in it to win it, and the competition just got stiffer. It ain't really your fault. It ain't nothing you could do. But I believe Cole Harley, Danny cannot compete with the top tier guys at the 154, and he cannot even compete with the top tier guys that's at his own weight class. I don't even know if between Danny and Ugas who will win. I couldn't even tell you. And I rewatched that Porter and Ugas fight, and I still say that Ugas won. That slip that they call a slip, I call it a knockdown. But it is what it is. I have much respect for Sean Porter. But once Spence and Bud face each other and clear out the mess in their division, then we can probably see some good fights. Because right now, being fair to those three guys with the belt, that's all they need to worry about is them three. For Earl to look back at Boots, I think it's crazy. Ugas to look back at Stanionis or anybody else, I think it's crazy. And I feel the same way for Bud. I think these guys are within the grasp of greatness and they need to follow it through. Otherwise, when can we get our Super Bowl? You know what I'm saying? But him saying he want to fight later this year, I think we gotta put the same pressure on him like y'all did Keith when Keith said, "I want to fight you, Bud," but 8 months later, and we was like, "Huh? If you want to fight him now." But Danny turned around and saying the same thing, putting the cart before the horse. Thurman might be on the money train. I think most of you guys feel that he is. I think most of you guys already feel that Thurman is on that train. If he is, I don't begrudge him. Because again, he gave us what we wanted. Then this is a prime example of why I say it's imperative that that people move right in the beginning of their career. Look at Tank Davis. Excellent fighter. Excellent. Awesome fighter. We love Tank Davis, a lot of us. But Tank, in my eyes, he don't want the Super Bowl neither. So he never have. When have he? He's 27. Can he make a turnaround? Yeah, because he's still young. And he's about to be in his prime. But you do what you practice. That's a saying I love to say. You do what you practice. So if you're not trying to fight the best and get all the accolades, you never will. Because you do what you practice. Danny had real close fights with Thurman and Porter. However, Spence beat him up, and he will never be the same. Probably so, Demetrius. And I think he fought scared. I think he was scared of Spence. I think Spence scares a lot of fighters, except Bud. But what's his name? Boots. He doesn't have the luxury to be scared because if he want greatness, he gotta face some of them. So I would say those two are the only ones that's probably not scared of Spence. I think Danny could have put on a better show. I'm not saying I think Danny could have won, but I think he could have put on a better show showing of himself if he wasn't fighting scared. I think he was scared to get knocked out. And which don't make sense to me. Earl Spence do hit hard. He has a thudding punch. And he could consistently go to you like that. You know who else could do that too? Matisse. Y'all remember Matisse? And Matisse was much more wilder than Spence. Like he was coming at you like just throwing them. Matisse used to knock motherfuckers out, or just if he didn't knock you out, he hit you hard. Like that's a hard hitting dude. Danny handled him easy. Cause Danny used to didn't be worried about so much how people punch or how they feel. Otherwise, if he did, he wouldn't be the fighter that he is because Danny punch with you. He stand there and he don't back off He do something that Gary Russell is known for doing. Gary, what shocks people in the ring with Gary is Gary was standing in the pocket. He ain't gonna let you back him up. And you be like, huh? You gotta back up, readjust yourself, come back in. Gary won't let you back him up. This is why I think that he did win the Max Hale fight. I understand that people don't think he did because he only had one hand. I think he was the cleaner, more effective fighter that night. I think Max Hale caught him a couple of times, but and I'm not even gonna bring up the fact that it's not an excuse that his arm was hurt. His arm was hurt. That's what happens in boxing. But he fought him with one hand though, and he was much more cleaner and effective and a better boxer. So that's how I see it. Love face XYZ. I see you had the water emoji, so I'm assuming that's your way of saying you drank some water. Cool for you. Cool for you. But that's how I look at Danny. That's one attribute about him that I like. He wouldn't let you just arbitrarily back him down. He backed down because he wanted to, and he could fight going backwards. A lot of people can't even do that. Danny was standing in that pocket, and as you throwing, he throwing, knowing he gonna get hit too. And he's probably just like, I'm no matter what, I'm gonna take your hit, but can you take mine? Oh damn, I missed a chat. Did you say, Dimitri? You say I have an unhealthy gut. You do? You gotta fix that, Dimitri. You have an unhealthy gut. Things like that is fixable. Just like type 2 diabetes is fixable. A lot of people like to think that once shit happens is all gone. When I be telling you that's not fixable is damage to your organs. So like for me, I have a enlarged heart. I can't fix that. It's not my whole heart. Your heart is broken up in 4 pieces. So it's one piece of my heart that's enlarged. It's important. It don't matter what piece it is. Your heart is your heart. And I can't fix it. So the best thing I can do is to prevent the other parts from getting the same damage. So that's what I mean. But by me eating differently, that can happen, and drinking the water. Why y'all think I drink water all the time? It helps. I'm telling you, it helps. Not only does it does something for your skin, and if it does something for your skin, you talking about a lot of vitamins like vitamin E, C, and D, and I mean all of them. When you getting good vitamin E, it's like a domino effect. You getting good vitamins everywhere. You know what I'm saying? But that's why I'm big on the water. You'd be surprised, just that one thing. And I call it a life sustainer because it is. It is. And so you can clean your gut out, but you gotta clean it out. It's the way you eat. I hope Thurman understand it, because like I told y'all the story when I met him. Woof, that boy could put it away. He could put it away. And Thurman might be, like I said, Thurman might be on this money train thing. If he is, I'm not mad at Danny or Thurman. Just let us know. I don't know how you let us know. I don't know what the proper word is. We'll pick up on it, because you know who look like they about to do that too is Regis Prograis. But Regis would say he wants a championship belt. I think he edged Josh Taylor out. I know for his ego it was hard, and he's another one that just ain't gonna get the love. It's like these fighters are pawns on a chessboard, and we're really giving up our money to the sanctioning bodies and refs and the promoters and the managers. They're the ones we're paying to see and whatever, because the fighters are the game piece, or they're Muppets, controlled by strings, and I can't be into that. To me, the priority or the list or the ranking order should be fighter, manager, promoter, and everybody that worked for that fighter. But fighter being number one. And until they get it back to that, we're gonna have problems in these boxing streets. Brian Mackey is in the building. What's up, B Mac? Greetings, Queen T. Blessings to you. Blessings to you too, Kate. Getting all these texts. Facebook, come on up in here. Hit them likes, shares. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Come on, help me with my algorithms. Y'all be looking on the sideline, and I thank you for it. But I need you to come on into YouTube. It's just a hop, skip, and a jump. Come on over. But yeah, Danny on some tomfoolery shit. And he did use Keith Thurman name to big himself up. Danny, you putting the cart before the horse. You need to, are you telling us that you're telling us like three different things? You telling us that you're gonna fight at 154, and then you telling us you still gonna fight at 147, but you're not interested in the fight until the very end of the year. Which one is it, Danny? This is why I say, like, some of y'all fighters better learn how to put your information out better, because you're looking real stupid in these streets. And I like you, Danny. And so B Mac said, what did he say now? Well, we know that B Mac that he said he wanted to fight at 154. But now he's asking for a Thurman fight at the end of the year. So what he gonna do the rest, the beginning part of this year? He's also saying he's looking to come back in April or May. I mean, well, who? He's confusing folks. You gonna go fight at 154. Me and Demetrius just was kicking it about he can't compete at 154. Who he gonna fight? Demetrius threw out J-Rock as a possibility, and that may be true. I can't see him beating nobody really at 154. Unless they off their game at that particular night. But I think his stature, the way he built, he's better off staying at 147. I can see him saying, I'm gonna go back down to 140. And if he can't make weight, then it's not that he can't, he just, you over 30s, you grow, you get bigger. I think he lightened the ass, and he hasn't proven that to me that he can face big dudes. He not Bud. Bud can fight somebody big and handle him. I don't worry about it with Bud. I done seen Bud since like way back 135 and stuff, just skinny as hell. And look at him now. And whether he was ready for it or not, like going up in weight, he showed that he was. I don't have that record with Danny like that. Danny absolutely grew out of 140 and went to 147, and he got a good lick. Danny, like Sean Porter, has a good resume. He fought everybody. I don't begrudge him on that. He fought a lot of people. As far as if we're gonna go by resume and who fought who, Sean Porter and Danny Garcia got a better resume than Earl and Bud. If we wanna be that technical, because they fought everybody top tier. Bud can't get a fight because motherfuckers be ducking him, in my opinion. I can't speak on why Earl don't have a better resume, but I know he likes to tell folks that they don't have one. But Danny, you don't fix your boxing career by trying to run to another division. That's like jumping out of one frying pan into the next, because that's exactly what you would be doing, because you're gonna get burnt real easy. You're gonna overcook, because you can't handle that 154 division. But I asked y'all in the chat, like, y'all think he can? He's confusing. Like I said, he got three things on the agenda this year. He wants to go to 154. Check. But he's campaigning still at 147. Check. And then he says he wants Keith Thurman at the end of the year. Check. It can't be both. Then you got to pick a side of the fence, not side of the street, not to be confused with that. but he was using Thurman name as a kind of like he's on that money campaign, that money grab, like Whitey Garcia been doing. B Max said Danny doesn't have a choice but to fight at 147. He hasn't beaten any major fighters at 147. So going to 154 is just talk. Yeah. Yeah. And maybe just trying to keep his name relevant. But he did the old proverbial, let me say somebody's name to elevate or keep my name relevant. Well, Keith got to prove himself to a lot of people. I'm good with Keith. I know a lot of people don't like Keith. He, like I told y'all, he lost to one person, but Keith still got to prove himself. He got to come back. And you attaching your name to his, it's not the ticket. I said in the beginning, B Mac, that I ride Ryan Garcia because I think what he do is despicable by attaching his name to other men names and not getting it from the mud. Like I mean, I'm a history major. I never read about any famous warrior that did that, other than the fact that you say, "Oh, this is my dad," or in the Bible when they be like, "This guy begot this guy and this guy begot that guy." Outside of that, and just because your dad was, King Dingaling, don't make you King Dingaling. Most of those people still had to get it from the mud. So I get on Ryan Garcia, but I ask myself, B Mac, after every show, have I been fair? Because one thing I got to be is fair. I have to. Have I stated some relevant, facts or anything like that? And I was like, when I'm thinking about how I ride Ryan Garcia, I was like, do anybody else do what he do? And I was like, yeah, low key, but yes. And to me, that's low key right there with Danny doing. He's trying to attach his name because the narrative out there is Keith Thurman is a moneymaker. Keith Thurman, if he is a moneymaker, or he can put asses in the seat, is because he was the creme de la creme at one point. He only got one loss. Now a lot of people don't like him for many reasons, but it's just my opinion. My opinion that a lot of people really start hating on Keith because Spence don't like him. And that's not a reason for me. That's not a reason for me to stop liking a fighter because another fighter don't like him. And that's what I just don't understand that. And then when Earl was saying that shit about Keith, I would give him the benefit of the doubt and say he didn't know how his fans was gonna react. But at this point in his career, Earl he has to take care of what he say because of the fans, the type of fans he got. So do Buzz, so do a lot of people. It's like a president. A president of the United States have to watch every damn word that come out their mouth. And to the president who don't do that, he can put everybody's life in danger. And I submit to you that Errol Spence, Bud Crawford, and some other fighters, Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, they got that kind of power, whether they sought it or didn't seek it. Errol is constantly improving his resume, trying to make big fights. However, extenuating circumstances outside the ring, his limiting his opportunities for fights. Ugas is next. I feel you, Demetrius, that he's trying. I feel you that he wants to. But I also see, and I say this with all due respect, Demetrius, because I know that's your boy. I see him as a duck when it comes to Terrence Crawford. I have to say it. And Demetrius, I never used to say that. I try to play the middle, but at this point, I see him as a duck. And I don't see no daylight in his resume and Terrence Crawford's resume. In fact, the top three that I named, or was it top two? Top three. If we can agree that Sean Porter had the best resume in the welterweight division because he fought who? Everybody. We could say that about Danny, and we can say that about Keith Thurman. We have to put Sean up there because Sean fought people like Kell Brook. I don't think Danny or Thurman fought him, and Kell Brook was the goods at one point. So we definitely give Sean the first ranking of that, but followed by real closely Keith Thurman and Danny Garcia. And Earl's resume could not compete with theirs. Demetrius Bright said Danny should fight Mikey Garcia at 147. Ooh, I don't know. What y'all think how that fight would go? Danny, Brian said Danny is doing what most of the young fighters are doing, talking about other fighters to stay relevant. Exactly. BMAC, I think that's conduct unbecoming of a man. Do y'all think I'm off? Because I'm just a woman and I'm saying that. But I think it's conduct unbecoming of a man. I would think it's conduct unbecoming of a woman if she's trying to ride on another bitch coattail. Conduct unbecoming. You know, you to me, other than the fact that your daddy was XYZ, you can't even ride on your daddy's coattails. You should always, everybody should be in the business of trying to get shit from the mud. Demetrius Bright said Danny Garcia versus Mikey Garcia. Yeah. He said, that's your opinion, Miss T. But I also see Bud as a duck. I feel you, Demetrius. Porter fought everyone as a welterweight. Yeah. And again, Demetrius, everybody gonna have, difference of opinion. It's not the end of the world. We still got our birthdays, right? But Earl changed his story up way too much. It's too much stuff to be going on for me to see Bud as a duck. Like in the beginning, I just was like, oh, they're just talking trash. I really can't see either way. But then when the receipts pop up, I'd be like, oh man, no, that's Earl. But I feel you, Demetrius. You know, I respect and love you. And Brian Mackey said, true, real men don't do that. Oh my God. My boo-boo, where you been? I can't hear you, King.
Wait a minute. Check this out, girl.
You been cheating on me. Where you been?
I ain't never been that sick in my life. I've never been that sick before, ever.
I heard. I was sending some.
The only thing I can compare it to was being wounded in combat. That was only 2 times in my life that I really thought I was going to.
You want to tell the chat what happened to you?
I had to went to that game. Biggest mistake I made.
What game?
I went to the San Francisco Raider game. Week 17.
Okay, hold on. We didn't catch that. We were kind of distortion. What'd you say?
I went to the San Diego Chargers, Las Vegas Raiders football game in Vegas. Week 17. Caught COVID 3 days later. Should have me in the hospital for 13 days, y'all.
Damn. Did you have some close calls? Did you have some close calls?
No. I developed pneumonia. That's what knocked me down.
Oh, get your thing, maybe some distortion. But shout outs to everybody who's had COVID and recovered, and prayers to those who haven't and their family. Shout out to you, Brian, for recovering from COVID, and prayers sent to your mother and family and anybody else in here that's had to deal with that. Shout outs to you guys, and prayers are always sent from Boxing Fans Talk TV. I was like, where my boy Shelton? I was getting worried. And I saw you pop up on another show, and I said, oh, and I heard them say, but before you came back, they was like, oh, that thing knocked you down.
Today, yesterday's 2 days I've been back around, so I had to come holler at you. I know you do yours at a certain time, so I had to come holler at you.
You better not put no cigarette in your mouth.
Huh?
You better not put no cigarette in your mouth.
Oh no, I'm done smoking. I ain't smoked in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. There's no reason to start back. There's no reason to start back.
Congratulations.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, there's no reason to start back. Should have been damn near a month. I'll be a damn fool to go back to it.
Nah, I heard it. I heard that thing is crazy. I've been
Yeah,
good. We've been trying to hold it down, and you know, still kicking the Willy Bobo.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Good to see you. So good to see you.
Good to see you
So
too.
what's the news I've missed? So what news have I missed in my little 3 week hiatus?
I don't know. Like, we had some good ones. Hey, Brian was on that one day. You know what, Brian?
Who?
Brian, he in the chat right now. Brian, you know what? My boy Dwayne ain't been back. If Dwayne, you listening, I still love you.
Dwayne Freeman?
Brian had to set him straight.
About what? About what?
We was talking, what was we talking about, Brian? Some of everything. Like, me and Brian had been talking earlier that week, and we was kind of debating a little bit, but it was okay.
Right.
Like, you know how Brian get to talking, he just be talking and whatever. And then we were just talking about Bud and receipts and Earl, the same old same.
Right.
And I don't know, on that particular day, Brian just got all this air in his chest. And he was just going hard. And I was laughing because I'm like, I do that sometimes, y'all, just to let y'all know. I laugh when I ain't gonna say, I don't know why I do it, but like if somebody say something crazy or out the ordinary, I just chuckle because I be like, did I hear that right? I'm actually talking to myself when I do that, just to let y'all know. And I laughed a little bit, but I know to somebody looking, they might think, oh, why you laughing? But he was huffing and puffing, and he was talking a little, he was a little reckless. I love you, Brian. I mean, I do love you, Brian, but Dwayne, if you listening, I do love you still. But you was huffing and puffing. So then my boys came in, B Mac and E Thriller, and had Brian humming. I mean, look, I'm fucking Dwayne humming.
I miss all the good stuff. I don't never be around for the good stuff.
That was a good show. But I be looking for him, like, Dwayne, where you at?
I seen Dwayne earlier today. He's floating around. He probably still got a little tool. He probably got a little tool on him.
Yeah. I asked about Birdman too. I really don't know what's up with that. 1 minute he here, 1 minute he fell off. I even tried to hit him up on he was on that show too, and I tried to hit him up, but he had a good conversation with the fellas. I tried to hit him up on IG, straight ignored. Let me get some of these chat. Demetrius Bright said, like I believe I don't see those two fighting at 147, most likely 154 if it happens. I hope not, Demetrius. He talking about Bud and Spence. What's good, Shelton? Saw you on T in Destiny show. Good you survived, B. And then he said, blessings. Brian said, I appreciated Queen T. That 19 ain't no joke, and he said, I felt he came at you in the disrespectful way to me, and I didn't appreciate it. So I said my piece to him. Yeah, my boys, my big bros came through, because I don't know what Dwayne was on that day, but I still love Dwayne. I still love you, Dwayne.
Bullshit sometimes. He on this shit, some real bullshit. But that's my boy. I've been fucking with him for about a year, so you know how it go.
Yeah, he was on something that day. I think he know now.
My man D say he don't see the fight happening until 54.
Yeah, Demetrius saying he ain't gonna see it happen. Bud and Little Spence at 154, but that's a shame.
I got a newsflash for you. I got a newsflash for you.
What's up?
I don't see it happening then.
Ooh, Shelton, who you think ducking? Do you think Spence is ducking?
I'm not gonna use the word duck. I'll say he's making business decisions. I don't think the people around him want that fight because he's been saying for years that it's strap season, right?
Yeah.
So if it's strap season, what does it matter what order you get the straps in?
That's true. And if you said, if the narrative always been, I'm gonna clean up my side of the street, then why should there be something like a videotape of him saying, "First, go fight Jeff Horn." That's what we was
Right.
debating about. Did you see that clip?
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it.
So that means
Here's the thing, T. Here's
Do
the
what?
thing, beautiful. You know, I always been on the same shit. You can't tell me, and you know this since I met you, you can't tell me that the two-belt unified welterweight champion of the world cannot make any fight in the welterweight division that he wants to make. Can't tell me that. Because I know he can do it.
Yep.
I know he can do it. It's just that he doesn't want that fight. He has never wanted that fight.
You talking about Spence, right?
That's right. Spence doesn't want to fight. Doesn't want to fight. He's never wanted to fight. The people around him don't want to fight, and they're gonna keep putting. Now here's something. Here's put this in the pipe and smoke it. If this boy wins on Saturday, which I keep, they trying to charge $75 for this bullshit because ain't nobody gonna buy it. No, you ain't buying it because I know I ain't buying it.
I ain't buying it. My boy Dwayne is up here. What's up, partner?
Now, you watch what's gonna happen, T. Beautiful lady, I'm telling you what they gonna do. If this fool beats Barrios easy, the next fight is gonna be the winner of Spence Nugas versus
be mad as a mug.
You mark my word.
Oh, I see them building that. You know what? This is why I'm talking about Danny Garcia today. Because why would you even bring up a Keith Thurman rematch if your ass wanted to run it back? You'd have brought it back a long time ago.
He brought that up today?
Yeah, he bringing that up like, hey, I want to like he sound like that, but I want a rematch with Keith Thurman at the end of the year. Why at the end of the year? Then we just clown Keith Thurman for saying, not me personally, but I agree with the clowning, for saying I want Bud, but in the summer. He was like, why wait so long? You can have him in the beginning of the year. You know, February, March. Why you want it? He said, give me 8 months. That's what he said. Keith Thurman did. So a lot of people like, and then Danny said, huh?
They don't want to fight, Mystique. They don't want to fight.
Yeah, but if Keith Thurman is gonna be set up as the PBC go-to, and Spence and them take that fight, and this is all speculations, everybody. We're not saying that it happened, but I know for me, if it do happen, they can eat a dick from then on. Done.
Hey,
easy.
They better get their fork and knife ready if they napkin, because that's what's going to happen. I see. I've been seeing that play ever since Keith Thurman was brought back into the division. That's the play. And the play, the cap is going to be, because that's the easiest fight to make, because we on the same side of the street.
I'm so sick of that same side of the street shit. Demetrius Bright said, I'm buying the fight. I'm still a Thurman fan. Don't agree with Shelton's narrative. I agree, no fight at 147, but maybe at 164. I think he meant 154. We hear you, Demetrius. We hear you. All opinions is welcome here. We good.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. You got your opinion. I got mine. I don't believe the fight's gonna happen at 47 or 54, because I don't believe the boy wants to fight.
Dwayne says Spence ain't fighting Thurman. If he don't get the Crawford, he's going to 154. Him and his trainer already said it. But see, Dwayne, from my perspective, if they don't get the fight with Crawford, it's because of him. He said that already. He said 150. I got what you meant, Demetrius. You know what I'm saying? Like, B-Mac agreed too. Like it what you just said, pretty much, like, he don't want the fight. It's not gonna happen because he don't want the fight. That's why I had asked the question. Were you around, or did you see when that guy Tim Smith that came out and basically degraded Bud and his value, and was like, you know, he asking for too much, even though he never sat down and talked to Bud. That was the straw that broke the camel's back for me. Never sat down and tried to negotiate with Bud. And Tim Smith is representing the PBC when he says this. Like, yeah, he pricing himself out. we don't have no money for him and this, that, and the other. But every time I turn around, you throwing 50 million and 40 million at Canelo. And then I said, well, what's the daylight between their two careers? Canelo got one division more as a champion. That's it. But you got 50 million, 40 million for Canelo, but you ain't even got 4 million for Bud. And you ain't even asked Bud to even say that he priced himself out. But that was their feeling from the jump. So then my next question was, if these are Errol Spence guys, if this is the guys he worked with or get his funding from, do y'all think that they would have, meaning PBC, would have let Errol Spence know their positioning on how they feel about Bud? They feel that Bud has no value and they don't want to fight with him.
Look, Miss T, let me explain something to you. It's something that you already know.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm checks and I'm passing money out to you,
mm-hmm.
I'm telling you what I want you to do and what I don't want you to do. Mm-hmm. And this is what's contingent upon you receiving this quote unquote funding. Am I right or wrong?
Yes.
That's the way it works.
Yep. I was saying that, but you hate to put a jacket on Spence if you don't know. That's why I asked the question.
See, that's the thing. That's the thing that irritated me with the whole situation, Miss T, is the fact that these guys running around talking about that they're their own bosses. No, you're not. You're not signing no checks, sir. You don't pass out no purses, sir. That's not your position. You don't do that. You haven't made $10 million yet. So how the fuck are you the cash cow, the big fish of anything? You do what the people with them checkbooks tell you to do. You gonna fight whoever Al Heyman tells you to fight. Fight him when he tells you to fight him. If you're healthy enough to do it. Mm-hmm. If not, you're gonna sit on the sidelines like the rest of them suckers. That's the only problem I had with them, saying that they're their own boss when clearly they're not. That's the only problem I have.
So in Spence's defense, you basically saying like, okay, he can only do what they tell him to do. His hands are kind of tied. So he do you think though that he knew? Like you kind of said he did, but I want to be clear because that's my thinking. If the people that write, like you said, write his checks, why would they hide that from him? Like, because to me, let's say I'm a fighter, and Shelter, you writing my checks. Right. And I got motherfuckers coming at me from the left and right. I got my fans hollering at me. I got my Bud fans hollering at me. Just fans in general. It's like, yo, make that fight. That's the biggest fight. And I'm like, yo, I'm gonna wax his ass. You know I'm gonna wax his ass. And I'm like, yo, did y'all try? Nah, we ain't try. Or, if I'm man down and I'm my boss, I'm my own boss. I'm like, oh, yo, make this fight or whatever. And they like, nah, we ain't gonna give you no money. But it, like you say, if you your own boss, you be like, all right, well, I'll come up with the money. But you can't, so you have to go through them. And you getting all this rah-rah from everybody. It seems to me that PBC would have let Errol Spence in on the secret. We don't want to pay Bud. We never going to pay Bud. And we don't like it. Crawford Boss is in the building. What's up?
Crawford, too much risk. And in their opinion, not enough reward. They know that they don't think they're not as confident in Spence as they say they are. They don't believe Spence can beat the boy. That's why they won't make the fight. Because Heyman knows his only leverage is to control that division, is to keep those belts in PBC hands. He's never going to give Bud a fight unless he's forced to, because he believes and come over there and snatch up them belts. And now the PBC is out of the welterweight business. Even though you got the fighters, you ain't got the belt. You see what I'm saying?
You think for one time only. Remember that song on Dreamgirls? One time only.
One time only.
That was my song. But let me say shout out to my niecey Pooh. Hey, Dime the boss. How you doing? I'm about to be a great aunt. Yeah, that's my
Oh,
niece.
look at you.
But
Look at you.
thanks, Dime. So because this is in my head, I just was thinking about this in the last couple of days. Crawford's a free agent, right? Can
Right.
he just go and get an investor? I mean, he's a millionaire. Can he get a loan with the bank and pay for his own shit?
I think that's gonna be. I think that's his move right now. I think that was the whole move with moving Bomac to just strictly training duties, signing with a management company out of New York, and having Daniel Kinahan as his advisor because he's setting it up to where he can get people to back him. He can get funding to back him. You see what I'm saying?
So then that would be a definitive duck if people don't take him up on his offer. Because if he can furnish the money, then it's definitely got to at that point be a 50-50. But I don't care about the money. I know a lot of people. If it's an echo,
Right.
It's an echo. I don't care about the money and all that stuff, but I know a lot of people do. But that changes the dynamics if Crawford puts up the money for his own fight. You can't then turn around and say you take the lowest cut. Let me get this chat right quick, Shelton. Brian Mackey says Shelton makes a great point, but Tom Brown also said that it's on the fighters if they want the fight. He said that at the Crawford versus Porter press conference. He did. What you think about that, Shelton?
And I remember him saying that. And I remember that Bud also said, I need you to repeat that.
Yep.
So the fans can hear you.
Mm-hmm.
Repeat that. If two guys want to fight, then the fight will happen. We know one guy wants to fight. The other guy says he wants to fight, but he hasn't made any moves towards making the fight. He's the 2-belt champion. He's supposed to be the big fish. He's supposed to be the number one welterweight in the division. Am I right or wrong?
Correct, Mundo.
Then he's supposed to make the fight.
He's
send the contract. He's supposed to make the fight, but he hasn't tried, and there's a reason why. He told Bud to go get a belt. Bud wouldn't got a belt. Then he said out of his own mouth, "Why would I fight you when I could take the easy route and knock out Sean Porter?" Remember that? He said that. So make it make sense. That's all I'm saying. Make it make sense.
Yeah. Demetrius Bright said PBC wants to see how ESJ looks against Ugas. Realistically, PBC wants Spence versus Thurman 1. I said 1. I'm sorry. Spence versus Thurman. I believe they have some prior deal with one time. That may be true, Demetrius. I also think that they rather match Spence up with Thurman, but then that makes it a duck. That makes that a duck. And the reason being, because Spence and Bud know the fight the fans want to see. And it's high time that it get done because Ugas was not in the equation in the let me clean up my side of the street. He wasn't. So
what did I say when I first came on, Miss T? Wasn't I saying the same thing when I first came on?
Yeah. Yeah. Demetrius said Bud is being advised by MTK, but I hear Jake Paul trying to sign Bud.
That would fuck up his credibility as a boxer, fucking with Jake Paul.
Really?
In my opinion, yeah. Jake Paul is.
Jake Paul is. You said fuck. I thought you said help out. I was gonna say. I think that's a step backwards for Bud. Nothing against Jake, but you said it would fuck it up or help him.
I think it would fuck him up. Yeah, with names because there's a lot of people with a lot of money that try to get into boxing, and boxing don't let them in. Now, what is that comment Demetrius said right there?
Did he say 60-40? Bud won't accept unless he gets 60-40 or 50-50. State the facts. Then he said, "You skipped my other comments." Oh, wait a minute.
Here's the facts. Here's the facts.
Hold on. He said, "Which one, Demetrius? The PBC wants." I think I read them all. And then Bud is excuse me, Bud is being advised that one, or did he say, I think I read them all. Let me see. Oh,
Okay,
okay.
well here.
I see it. I'm sorry, Scott. Hold on. Let me get his question. I have a question. Didn't Bernie the boxer say that Bud is moving up to 154 to challenge Charlo for undisputed? So who doesn't want to fight who? He put caveats on that though, Demetrius. He was like, he's gonna wait until after the fight. But if Spence don't want it, he's gone.
Now, Demetrius, that's depending on Charlo even winning that fight. Because we don't know if Charlo's gonna win that fight, first of all. Number one. Because in my opinion, he got beat by Castaño the last time. So we're gonna leave that there. Now, the other fact is this: 60-40. Bud said he don't want it unless it's 60-40 his way or 50-50. Well, let me ask you this, Mr. Bright. Who has done more in the sport of boxing? A 27-fight fighter who's been in one division, or a 3-division world champion, former undisputed champion, 2-time lineal champion, 2-time fighter of the year, and for the last 5 years been recognized as the number 1 pound-for-pound fighter in boxing? Who's done more? I'll wait.
There's a little delay on the chat, but I believe Demetrius will chime in. But they'll say, most people will say, in Earl's defense, he has two belts. What do you say to that, Shelton? It doesn't matter what he did elsewhere. It's talking about
He got 2 belts in one division. Never left the division. He only got 27 fights, and he really ain't fought nobody. That's what I say to
that. Well. Yes, sir. Oh my goodness. But that's what was going on while you was gone, while you was sleeping. A lot of stuff was going on. It was the Tim Smith thing. What else? People dropping receipts. Those old narratives were kind of debunked. I still stand by what I said before. That them two of all people should not handle their business in the street. It's to the point now, Shelter. If they did have a fight, I don't know if I want to go to it. I'll be happy with looking at it from my house. Cause I don't know what's gonna hop off. In the beginning, for me, I like them both because they're both American and they're both black and they both great fighters. I just like them, but I liked it Bud more. Now it's like such a rivalry. That's like, is it even safe to go to one of their fights? How you feel about that?
I'm at the point now, see, that I'm kind of like past it. I don't even care anymore because I'm tired of waiting for it. I believe the fight is 3 to 4 years over. Fight should happen at least 3 years ago. At this point, I'm past it. I really don't care if they fight because nothing is gonna change my opinion that one guy didn't want to fight the other guy. Because, like Demetrius is saying, whose belts are they fighting for at 147? We're not going to go to past history. Okay, since we're not going to go to past history, we don't care about you selling 200 or 300,000 pay-per-views either. That's past history. We don't care nothing about that. Since you don't want to go to past history, we don't care nothing about that bullshit that you sold. Who cares? The fact is, you fought the same guy. You guys have a common opponent. You went tooth and nail with the motherfucker, damn near got beat, and this guy knocked him out. So what you gonna say to that? Oh, it wasn't the same Porter? Oh, his daddy saved him. His daddy stopped the fight. Don't make him. You'll move the goalpost. You'll make another excuse. That's why at this point, like I said, Miss T, I don't even care if they fight, and I don't believe they will because the one guy from Dallas, Texas, don't want to fight.
I'm sorry, Demetrius. I tend to think that the same thing. They are fighting for undisputed at 147, not for 140, 135, 160. Brian said, why do we have to erase what he did in other weight classes? I bet you won't erase what Spence did at 147 if he moves up. And then he said, Demetrius said, who has more belts at 147? And that's pretty much the gridlock. For me, it's like I'm feeling like you, I'm feeling like Brian, and I don't think the fight gonna happen, and I'm mad. You know, it's almost like this is story break right here. So when young girls are young, you got daughters, Shelton, right? You got daughters. Did your daughters make it back?
Yeah, she made it back. She made it back.
Okay,
Lucky for
yeah.
her, she made it back, and she was fine. And then I go to the damn Raider game and I catch the shit.
Damn. But so, well, I'm glad that she made it back safe and sound, and a speedy recovery to all of y'all who dealing with COVID and your families. But you know, it's like when I was younger, you know, as a little girl, you grew up with fairy tales, right? And all little girls are princesses. You must tell them, you must believe them. Fathers is important. That's one of y'all most important jobs, to tell your little girl she a princess. So we think we princess, we believe in this stuff. As a young girl, you be thinking, I wonder who I'm gonna marry and how my life gonna be and how many kids I'm gonna have. These are the things that plague your mind. Now I'm sure I ain't no little boy, so I don't know what plague y'all young boys' mind. Y'all might be thinking about drilling holes and shit and everything. I don't know what y'all thinking, but I don't know if y'all thinking like that. Like, oh, I wonder who I'm gonna marry and how many kids I'm gonna have, yada yada yada. So you grow up and you have this life and you're doing the best you can to obtain that fairy tale, and you never quite get it. And now the kids that you do have, it wasn't in an ideal situation. I mean, you lucky if you do find your soulmate and you're married and you settle down, but most times that don't happen. So you grow up, your kids are grown or whatever, or they're young adults, and them days is behind you. So it's like the way you feel about the fight, this is what I'm thinking. Like, look, I did my bid for God and country. I tried to get the husband, the 2.5 kids, and the white picket fence and the dog. I ain't get it. So coming to me with that bullshit is moot, because I do not care. Like I really, and it's not coming from bitter. It's like, motherfucker, them days though, I tried it. It didn't happen, so now I don't care. And that's what Tim Smith did to me. You know, that might be a crazy analogy, but I feel about what he did to me and his statement is the same way I feel about, you know, trying to, no, let's settle down and raise a family. I'll be damned. Them fighting words for me.
I agree, because my daughter's 30. And you know, at this age, right? If this shit here don't work out, anything happen to this here, that's it. I'm not trying to do none of that no more. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a certain way I live. I'm stuck in my ways. I'm not finna bend my rules for nobody. I'm old. You know what I'm saying? I'll be 56 years old coming up. I'm old. So I'm not trying to appease nobody. I'm not trying to, you know, look, if we can get along and we're on the same page, that's great. But if you want to go another direction, go head on. I'll be fine with you, and I'll be fine without you.
Kick some powdered rocks.
Yeah.
Smash this damn like button. I keep seeing this number. Jump up, jump down. Smash the damn like button, y'all. Come on. Come on. It ain't that hard. Embrace it. Become one with it. Demetrius said, if and when ESG wins, he will have 3 belts. And then he said, therefore, he has done more work to collect titles at 147. Most of the heavy lifting. If he moves to campaign at 154, hard work starts over. I believe what he did at 147 won't no longer matter. You are at 154. What have you done at the present time? That's how I look at it. The Demetrius, I believe you will say that, and a lot of people, a lot of fans will say that of Spence, but they'll say that today, but I guarantee you they won't say it when that happens. Don't believe the fight will happen this year nor the future, so I won't continue to back and forth with something that may not happen. I feel you. I mean, it's no even Demetrius.
That's all we've been saying, Demetrius. The fight's not gonna happen.
It's not even passion. It's not even no passion with it. Like before, I was very leery of even trying to bring up them two, because I was like, man, it's too many people getting their feelings. And then when I made my decision, it really wasn't based on Errol Spence, but what the PBC guy said, because it let me know something that it confirmed to me in my head was really good. And I was like, we'll never get this. So fuck them, you know? And until they give me the fight, I'm not buying another PBC fight, period. And if like people like Keith Thurman gotta suffer, I'm sorry, King. I got it. You gotta take it, because what they gonna do, respect my black motherfucking dollars. I'm not buying no PBC fight because
exactly.
they're not doing that.
Look at this. You got Mario Barrios coming off a loss, and you got Keith Thurman, who hasn't been in the ring in 3 fucking years.
Mm-hmm.
This is not worth $75, and nobody can tell me that it is. This should be on regular Channel 11 Fox on a Saturday afternoon. That's what this fight should be on. It should not be a prime time pay-per-view.
I actually want to see the fight, but I'm gonna go over a friend house in the box. I like
nobody wants to see this shit.
I feel like
if people say they gonna buy it, in my opinion, this is just my opinion. They lying. They gonna stream this shit because ain't nobody paying $75 for this fight.
That's probably true, Shelton. I don't have them capabilities, but you know what? I was the person that bought the fights. I bought that Tank shit. I was tempted to buy the was Jake Paul shit, but you know what stopped me? That shit they did to Rolly. And I ain't no Rolly fan. But due process is due process. And they didn't give it to him. And I didn't put my fucking uniform on all them years to come back and they pick and choose, because they pick and choose to give him due process. They're gonna pick and choose to give me or some of my kids or their kids. I'm not with that shit. So it's just certain things that can be done in boxing that can make me say, fuck it. I don't even want to be a part of it. You know, I watched Bellator this weekend. Did anybody watch that?
I did. I was chilling. I was recovering and watching football. But how was it?
It was interesting. That guy Bader, in my eyes, he won. He beat his ass if we was looking at a street fight, because I can't give no credence to somebody who take you down and just lay on you. And that's what I think his opponent mostly did. But as far as getting his ass whooped, I think Bader was whipping his ass. He chin checked him so many times. He was elbowing him in the head and shit like that. But I know they knocking you down to the ground and keeping you there is a strategy, and you get points. I just haven't learned how all that works. I would tell DJ that I'm more into the 3-round 5-minute fights than more so the 5-minute fights, 5-round 5-minute fights, because there's no history, there's no story behind them. But heavyweight is heavyweight. I don't care where you go. That heavyweight had me like biting my nails, and I looked at the whole thing, and that was the first time I ever did that. So,
all right, good for you. Good for you.
He said, I'm looking forward for the Thurman Barrios and ESP versus Ugas. I ain't mind that one either. I'm paying $75, looking forward for that fight, and the undercard is nice. If I don't see it at a bar, somebody on YouTube gonna upload it. You just gotta be sitting around, kind of like you waiting on it. And as soon as they upload it, you might get to see it, and then you try to come back the next day, it's gone. Because people do be doing that, and I will settle for that. But just so PBC know, I was a loyal advocate of buying fights from anybody. PBC, you tore your draws with me. Done with you. But I'm gonna move on to this other story, because I said my theme was, first of all, what do you think about men using other people's names, like other men's names, to big themselves up or be relevant? I think it's conduct unbecoming a man. Am I wrong, Shelton?
Bro, that's wrong. That is conduct. You don't have to put somebody else down to big yourself up. That's conduct unbecoming. You're absolutely right.
Brian said, I'm sorry, I can't watch two men roll around on the ground in tight bikini shorts. I feel you, King. I feel you. You know that one position kind of worries me when they, a straight missionary on each other. I'm like, I know y'all touch your swords, because every time I'm in that position, I feel something. So
Here you go, T. Here you go. Here you go.
there's a sausage party up in that like vroom, vroom, Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader or some shit going down. I feel you, Brian. You ain't gonna tell me you don't feel nothing. Your mama named you Clay. I'm gonna call you Clay on that one. Speaking of men like you getting on other men's jockstrap, in general. Cause like I said, I ride Ryan Garcia ass hard. I was like, am I being fair? Miss T, are you being fair? So David Benavidez wants Caleb Plant if he gets past Lemieux. First of all, Lemieux is a step backwards, David. Second of all, Caleb is not a big money fight. He hasn't been proven to be the man who carries money. Now we know that Canelo fought Mayweather, and that was, even though he lost, he elevated. We know that he was money in the bank, but Caleb Plant hasn't proven that. Caleb Plant is an excellent boxer, and he'll probably get a lot of people out of there. But Caleb Plant, we don't know if he got power. I actually like Caleb Plant, but we don't know if he's that money, that cash cow, or like kind of like Canelo was shortly after fighting Mayweather. So David Benavidez, if you're the undefeated guy, you should be looking forward. I don't get it with these guys is going backwards. But he's using Caleb Plant name, and you ain't even give man a chance to really make a name. Like Caleb Plant should be going for those fighters that for Caleb Plant it's a good thing because David is undefeated. But for David, Caleb is defeated.
Here's my take on it. I actually like it because I just want guys in that division to fight each other. Mm-hmm. Since Boo Boo moved up, I want him to fight somebody. I want Plant to fight somebody. I want Benavidez to fight somebody. If Charlo moves up, I want him to fight those guys. I want all those guys to fight each other. Stop waiting on one guy. One guy does not control. Make your own lane. Beat the rest of those guys, and then he has to fight you. You see what I'm saying?
But if he fight Caleb, what does that put him in a position? It does not put him closer to Canelo.
But here's the thing, though. Mm-hmm. People nowadays, people view Caleb Plant as better than Demetrius Andrade, as better than who else is at 68?
Well, I guess Charlo going up there.
Charlo, they think he's better than Charlo. They think he's better than Andre.
Is it Triple G?
And some people might even think he's Benavidez because of his showing against Canelo.
I haven't been following Triple G. Is he up there at 168 or 160?
He's at 160. He's at 160.
Okay.
He's still at 60. He's mad about missing out on that bag with Murata. That was a big bag.
Oh, damn. What happened with that one? Because I missed that one. I wouldn't follow.
Japan shut down. You didn't hear? Japan shut down. Japan's closed. Ooh. COVID. They're closed.
Bad. Ooh.
Japan is locked down tight.
This gonna sound bad, y'all, or it sound weird to y'all, because y'all gonna be like, Miss T or T, what the hell are you talking about? One of my favorite shows on YouTube, I watched this gorilla family who's in the Coyote Zoo. Coyote, I don't know if I'm saying it right. Coyote Zoo. I love that family. Just like my little babies. And when they get sick over there like that, that's dangerous for primates too. Because they can catch shit like that from us. I pray and pray and pray that don't nothing happen to that family. Lord have mercy. I've been watching them for 2 years straight. Yeah, I know y'all. I know that sound crazy.
Yeah, I get it. But yeah, Japan is locked down to the bag too. That was about a $10-12 million bag that Triple G missed out on. They're trying to make the fight from April or May here in the United States, but I don't know if it's going to work out.
Listen, they can keep playing with this COVID stuff. We had our grown woman talking about COVID this past Friday, talking about the Supreme Court case and what has happened and what it means to us right now. I'm telling you, I'm just, look, if you come in my circle, you got to be fully vaxxed. That's just me. That's all I can do. I ain't playing around with the shit. I don't want to die from this shit. I don't want no family members to die from this shit. I know we can't control it, but you got to do the best you can. It's not a hoax, not to me. And the sooner everybody get on the same page and stop being mad at misdirecting their anger or making up shit to be mad about. Like, even if you don't want to take the vaccine, fine, but you got a problem with putting a mask on. I don't understand it. So we're gonna still have problems, and bags like that is gonna get missed. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, and that's his biggest issue because Triple G is not a stupid man. He's 40 years old, and he knows Murata was the biggest bag he had left in his arsenal. He's not gonna get that bag with none of these guys because nobody cares about Triple G. He's not relevant.
Somebody wants to. Martinez wants to fight Murata. But you saying Murata's best bet is to get the hell up out of Japan the best he can? Is that what you're saying? Is he in Japan? Is he from Japan?
Yeah, Murata's a superstar in Japan. He's like Michael Jordan over there.
Do you know that damn Sergio Martinez is making a comeback?
At 46 years old?
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to beat anyone.
And he done beat 3 people already.
3 tomato cans. Probably a piece.
He was fighting a 27-year-old
Argentinian cook and some guy that probably got from a grocery. He's not going to beat anybody in the top 15 to top 20.
Well, at least he's trying. That's more than I can say for some people like Whitey Garcia and all them. But he fought somebody Thursday who was 27 years old, a Brit. And I think he won. But
he won, but he looked awful.
Did he? I got the fight. I had to try to get in it. I think I got to get to it through my email because L-Dub hooked me up. Shout outs to L-Dub, always coming through.
L-Dub boxing.
Look, L-Dub is a man.
Let's see.
What's that?
He's not Bernard Hopkins.
He ain't
not beating nobody.
So look, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this to you, Shelton. I'm gonna see if you can catch it with your military mind. You've been around the world, right?
Twice.
A little bit. Right? So you remember when Sergio was on this bully tip? He gotta help the wayward bullies, but he only seemed to concentrate on this one person. You remember that?
Yeah.
And who was it?
Paula Porter.
The black chick, right?
Yeah.
Who was 14 at the time, right?
Ooh.
Yeah, that's how old she was. She was young like that. And she was at every match, wasn't she?
Yes, she was.
And he live in Spain, don't he?
Yes, he does.
Okay. So Miss T, all of y'all who don't know, lived twice. And I ain't talking about I took a nap or I hung out for a couple of weeks. I'm talking about a sister girl lived twice in Spain, had my own place. Marble floor, sparrows, staircase, the works. Okay. And went in Spain. Okay. And I told y'all about the story with me, huh? I thought I was caught up because I went there with my American mind thinking if you where I'm at, you 22 or more like me, right? You
not necessarily
enough to read. And look, got caught up, Shelton. True story. See, Miss T gonna tell the truth about herself always. Y'all can't say nothing that I ain't said to myself, and y'all can't make me feel bad. So I'm gonna tell y'all that ratchet now before I show you this picture, because y'all can't do nothing to me. But I think about this shit. This is Miss T at 22. Let me tell you, at 22.
Hey now.
This motherfucker, and he full-blooded Spanish. In every club I was at. Every motherfucking club I was at. I'm 22. I'm thinking he about my age. I'm in bars. After the deed, I dated him like a couple of months. And that dude, he loved him some Miss T now. I said Miss T, but back then it was T. He loved him some tea, right? I'm telling you, love me. I dated him for a couple of months. Rewarded him. And because we had feelings, he told me the truth. I about died. I about fell off the couch or something.
Come to find out he was what, Miss T?
16.
Ooh, see, but there's different laws over there. That's acceptable over there.
Yeah, I went to my chief like with my hands out, ready for to put the cuffs on. Like I've been bad. You should flaw me. You should You know what my chief said?
What did he say?
He said, "Get the hell out of here." He said, "When in Rome,"
Who was the Romans do?
he said, "Yeah." He said, "You think you doing something?" He said, "We all doing it." I said, "What?"
Yeah.
Then I went to his mother. Look, what an ass guy. He was a millionaire. They were millionaires, right? Went to his mother. She had an ascot around her with a little long cigarette and was like, "Darling, I don't care. I don't worry about Miguel. I don't worry about him. It's okay." I was like, dude, I did do the right thing, but trying to turn myself in. But if you lying to me, how the fuck I know? You in the same club I'm in. I'm in this bitch till 6 a.m.
You said it yourself. You did it to yourself. You said it yourself. You had your American mindset, and you're not in America. They do things different over there.
So when I tell you, Mr. I'm for the bullies.
I got a call. I got to call you back.
So when I tell y'all, Mr. I'm for the bullies, and then I get special trips over there too. I'm gonna just leave it right there. Let y'all. When he come back, I'll ask him, is he thinking the same thing I'm thinking? That never got past me, y'all. That never got past me. So when I think of old Sergio, I think about that. I'm careful with my words because you hate to put a jacket on somebody. You cannot play with people's, you cannot just play with people's reputation or anything. But I ain't no fool. I'm telling y'all. I mean, and just a little bit, because I dug in more and did more research, and I see it the way I see it. Brian said, "Blessings, Miss T, but I have to go and get ready for tonight's show. Good luck to you and everyone. Hit the like button and subscribe. Blessings to you too, B Mac. You know I'm a mosey right on over there. Tell E Thriller, like sometimes when I try to come over, for some reason it won't show, and then I wake up the next morning and I can watch it in replay. Now I don't know what the hell YouTube is doing, but I had my noti bell on and everything, so I really don't know." Demetri said Murata is an easy fight for Triple G. That's probably why he wanted it, and that's probably why Sergio wanted it. But when we talk about people low key using other people's names, David Benavidez has a fight with Lemieux, which to me is a step backwards. And it's kind of a step backwards with Caleb Plant. Nothing against Caleb Plant. He's just coming off a loss. To Caleb Plant is good because you get another undefeated fighter. And but for him to even speak of a potential Caleb Plant's showing or a matchup is telling me that you kind of low-key using somebody's name to bring attention, like attention whore type shit. I'm just saying is David Benavidez right now is a hot prospect or contender, and Plant hasn't proven that he is the money fighter. Not yet. He said we go live at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. Gotcha, King. Gotcha. I will be over there. I'm gonna have to get with Al Heyman for fucking up my YouTube. I got you, man. I'll be over there. And actually, like I said, Lemieux is a step down, but got to be careful he got to be careful going forward. Talking about David Benavidez and the choices he make and stuff like that. Because one thing about Canelo, he made, y'all know I'm not a Canelo fan. He made the right choices that took him to the level that he's at now and got him the money fights. He had help too, but he could have easily made some unwise decision. And just because you make an unwise decision, it's not the end of the world, because sometimes that can happen. Everybody are not great strategists. Everybody is not great businessmen. So it's all good, but if somebody just came off a loss, one of the biggest fight of their career, I'm not saying that they don't deserve fights. For Caleb Plant, this is great. For David Benavidez, it's not. I don't see how fighting Caleb is going to put you in position to fight, Canelo. but you just fighting people that that was else in your division. We can kind of, it's plausible deniability. We can be like, you're just taking it how you can get it. You're taking it how you can get it. But if you're gonna shoot for somebody who just came off a loss with the person you really trying to fight, no, you gotta let that person, like, I don't know, maybe the optics of it, or maybe it's the way you approach it, or this, that, and the other. But that's yet again somebody uses somebody else's name to spruce up their name, or putting the cart before the horse. And because you're thinking wrong on that one, Mr. Benavidez. And so, Sheldon, I was just talking about David. I hope you heard some of. But what you think about the little girl? No, I was just saying overall, David Benavidez fighting Caleb Plant is, to me, a step backwards. Caleb Plant fighting David is a step forward. And him David fighting Lemieux, it's like you taking it how you can get it, because everybody avoiding him too. So he taking it how you can get it. But Caleb has to prove that he is a cash cow, or can be a money fight, a good fight for going forward, because like Canelo did after fighting Mayweather. But I also want your answer on, do you think I'm far off with my analogy with Sergio and that little girl?
Oh no, you probably hit it right on the head, because that is their culture. See, people have this misconception that American culture is the only culture. When by us, I'm talking about me and you, being people who have been around the world, we understand that other cultures do things totally different from the way we do it. What's acceptable over there, shit is punishable by prison time over here.
What you say her name was? I know, right? Because I'm gonna look her up. That's what I didn't. What was
her name? That little chocolate girl. She was at every one of his fights. And you could tell that. You could tell that was a baby.
Yeah. And look,
why is this baby at his fights?
And the mama right there.
Yeah. Because that was acceptable. It's acceptable.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. They in Spain, they do that. You can be 32 years old. Your mama gonna be right there when you going somewhere in regards to your beau. You know what I'm saying? But,
and being 14 or 15 or whatever she was, her parents were acceptable to that because of the status that Sergio had. They wanted her with him. It was basically kind of like an arranged marriage, if you know what I mean.
And Sergio is not married, and he probably never will be.
Exactly.
He can't explain. He can't in the face of the world get married to who he really like. Sorry, exactly. Sergio, I gotta say it. I just had to say it. I had to say it.
Because at that point in time, where was he making most of his money at?
In the States.
And that shit don't fly over here.
Now in Spain, he probably could walk the streets. Look, I wouldn't be surprised if she divorced somewhere, or living like a divorced woman with a bunch of kids. None of that would shock me.
No, it wouldn't shock me. It wouldn't shock me one bit.
Young as hell, but dried up.
Yeah, amen. Hey, you want to waste her? She want to waste her goodness on Sergio? That's her business.
Dirty old man. So look, Bob Arum thinks that Fury and Dillian will garnish $500K for their pay-per-view buys. Now, at first, that fight wasn't going to be on pay-per-view; it was just going to be on ESPN.
In the UK, yeah, not in America. Not in America.
But they changed that now, because that I just read that today. I ain't gonna put 110 on it, but I did just read that today that it will be ESPN pay-per-view. But at first it wasn't. It wasn't ESPN. It was just ESPN was a pay-per-view.
Now, Miss P, you know that fight's going.
That fight is booty. I'm not buying it. Who buying it? Who buying it in the chat? You buying it, Sheldon? I ain't.
Hell no. I'm not buying that. Hey,
even if it was $80, if it was
only time I pay for Tyson Fury is he fighting Deontay Wilder. That's the only time I pay for.
That's it. If it was $80 and they hoping for $500K. Well, we know Deontay and Fury was way more than $500K. But if it was $500K,
and they did 7 in the third fight.
See, And it was like, okay, 5K, 40 million. That's what they're gonna make. The purse bid was 41 million.
Yeah.
You heard about that?
41 million from Frank Warren.
Yep, 32 for Fury and 8.2 for Dillian. So you already didn't make your money back just on the pay-per-view. They're having to fight in Wales. And the one thing that I put out the other day that I want to make sure people understood, that has nothing to do with his ban. He is still banned in the UK. He's still banned, I'm gonna say in England at least, because Wales, even though I don't know how to describe their relationship, I just know that they dubbed the prince or the princess of England the king, the prince or the princess of Wales. That's just a formality because Wales is
Wales has its own government. Yeah, they're separate from they're in the United Kingdom, but they're separate from England.
Yeah, it's just a formality, pomp and circumstance. That's all it is. To me, that's not a success. I don't know what big ass stadium they got in Wales. Wales is so old school.
Cardiff,
just generally.
Probably
Cardiff. Cardiff. Yeah, Cardiff. That's where it's gonna be.
But he's gonna do great. That fight's gonna do great in the UK. They're gonna suck that up. They're gonna eat it up in the UK. In America, not so much.
But it ain't. Listen, even doing great in the UK, they're not gonna make their money back. They need pay-per-view. I don't think they can make their money back.
The only time I'll pay $80 is if Tyson Fury is fighting Anthony Joshua for Undisputed, or he's fighting Deontay Wilder. Other than that, I don't want to see him fight because if he fights Usyk, I'm telling you now, I know the outcome of that fight already. So I don't.
Who you think can win?
Beat the shit out of him. He's too fucking slow.
Too flabby.
He's too slow. Usyk gonna box the shit out of him.
That fight is going down, y'all. April 23rd. They actually got a date now. And here's my opportunity to tell Bob Arum and the boys, respect my motherfucking black dollars. Because I ain't buying it.
Nobody buying that fight, man. Nobody's buying it. Who's going to pay $80 to see Tyson Fury?
No, I don't. I would laugh all the way. I ain't even going to the sport bar to see it. I'll catch the highlights.
You're not going to be able to, Miss T, because they're not going to show it.
Why? Not even on at the sport bar. Why wouldn't they?
Because they show UFC fights at the sport. I know in California out here, they don't show boxing at the sports bars anymore. It's UFC.
No,
you can go see a UFC fight, but you can't see no boxing because nobody knows any of these guys. Look at this.
They would put on boxing because I was even at it had a bar in it, but it was like a seafood place, but it had like a bar for like in his own section, and they had all these cookies, and I was like, can you put some boxing on? And they obliged me. So
but it wasn't no damn pay-per-view fight that was live.
Yeah, I mean, if they got ESPN and stuff. The lady had a lot of subscriptions. I don't know. But I personally don't think that fight. I don't think nobody cares over here. Dillian White is big over there. Taco Meat does have a following over there, and Let me
ask you this. Let me ask you this. You've seen those Modelo commercials, correct?
Modelo.
Yeah. Amanda Nunes, other UFC fighters, they all got Modelo commercials, correct?
Yeah.
How many boxers got a Modelo commercial?
How many boxers got any commercial? I ain't seen a lot of them. Do Clarissa got one?
How many boxers got any commercial?
Not a lot. Not that I've seen.
That's what I'm telling you. That's my point. I tell people this today. Bite my head off, but it's the truth. Boxing is popular. People don't know these guys. Nobody, if you could take Gervonta Tank Davis right now at 6:26 Los Angeles time and drop his ass off in the middle of the Fox Hills Mall, and nobody would know who the fuck he is.
For real.
For real.
So he's pretty much East Coast.
He's pretty much not popular. He's not what they say he is. Now the kids, because of Instagram and Facebook. But the regular 9 to 5 mainstream public, they have no idea who that dude is. They have no idea who Errol Spence is. They have no idea who Terrence Crawford is. They don't know these people.
You know why? Because there's too many boxers not really going for the Super Bowl of boxing, which is undisputed or unified. There's too much ducking and excuses and shit like that. You do the whole sport a disservice because it ain't credible. And it's
they don't
like
know who Tyson Fury is. They don't know who that guy is.
People don't know that took down the black guy that need to be humbled. That's who he is. That's how they feel. But this the nugget that I took from this Shelton. Bob Arum is claiming that White is a more dangerous fighter than Fury than Deontay was. I was like, huh? Now why he's saying that? I think it's to fool you guys to buy the fight because Deontay is the cash cow. You take that to the bank, and he knows this fight won't sell. Bob knows that, and Bob knows that you can make your chosen fighter big off the back of black fighters, but he had his MBF policy, and old habits are hard to break. Now people gonna say, T, why are you bringing in black and white? Because it does come to that. Bob is using the, if this was politics, we would call it the Southern strategy, but it's boxing, so we're gonna say the MBF policy. A lot of fighters ain't shit till they beat a black fighter. I mean, if you think about the world in general, when you talk about anything.
But he's gonna say that, like you said, Ms. T, because he wants to promote this fight. He wants that fight to do as well as it can, which it ain't gonna do well.
Mm-hmm.
And he's also looking at it from the fact that people are missing this. This is the point that people are missing. Tyson Fury is not what they say he is. Mm-hmm. And the reason I say that is you went 11 rounds with a gassed out, stationary Deontay Wilder who damn near beat you. Because Deontay, we know, after the second round, Deontay was gassed. He was done.
That particular
fight. He fought you on heart and power alone. That's what he fought you on. He didn't have no gas tank. Gas tank was gone. And you couldn't get him out of there until the 11th round.
And that
with actual heartbeat, Fury, you might be in trouble.
Look, and Fury be 35 in April. So all that bad living by now is caught up. Because you could be a non-boxer or non-superior athlete. By the time everybody get 35, you're gonna start feeling the wear and tear of the bullshit you done in your life.
Shit starts to change.
Real quick. You're gonna go down and pick up a pen and throw your whole back out. Respect Bob Arum. I got one thing to say to you. Respect my black dollars, Bob. And then he got Teofimo that's gonna face somebody named Arnold Barbosa. I have to go watch some of his
that's a dangerous fight for Teo. That's a dangerous fight.
That's what they said. He like savvy, but he ain't a big puncher, but he's in other words, Camboso doppelganger. That's what he is. He's technically savvy and he can fight. He can fight, and he usually always.
Who got the postal fight? Oh, that's Gary Antoine fight.
Yeah, Gary Antoine.
That's a good fight. That's a good fight.
So I shout outs to T.O. for not trying to take no easy way out.
He wasn't going to be allowed to. He's at Bob's mercy now. Yeah, now he's at Bob's mercy. He back to Uncle Bob.
Oh, I didn't have you here, so I'm gonna get the floor to you on what you think about the lawsuit that Terrence Crawford then put on Bob.
Well, he has action as far as the breach of contract because they had a contract.
He has
Bob promised to get him. They had a contract. Bob promised to get him Pacquiao and Spence. Bob didn't deliver. That's breach of contract. Any way you slice it. Now the racial aspect, I don't know about that. That's gonna kind of be hard to prove, seeing that there's never been any speculation on Bob not paying people what they were owed. You've never heard anything about Bob cheating nobody.
Oh no, yeah,
Bob's not gonna overpay you, but he's not gonna cheat you. Whatever you're supposed to get, everybody's gonna get.
Mayweather claimed that Bob had owed him $11 million still. That's
Oh well, why come he ain't collected it all these years later?
I mean, Mayweather,
Because it's bull.
But here's the thing: Mayweather played ball. Unlike a lot of these fighters that get some dirty shit done to them, Mayweather was getting that too, and he just didn't cry about it. He played ball. I'm not advising nobody should be like that, but I just think that he Mayweather's more throwback than these fighters today.
Oh yeah, I won't argue with you on that. But we all know Mayweather is an attention whore and he's money hungry. So if anybody owes Mayweather $11 million, he's not gonna let it ride this long. So that was all bullshit and cap.
See, I saw like actual paperwork, and we heard it out of his mouth, but I can't prove it and all that. He never did go back for it, but that was Mayweather's reasoning for why he don't want to do business with Bob. Other people felt like, all they got to do is come out and show. If you lowball somebody, then you did cheat them out some money, because you lowballing people, to me, and cheating somebody out of money by any other name is still cheating somebody out of money.
Here's my point with Bob. Now, Bob been in this business for 50 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
There's never been any lawsuit, but I looked it up. I did my research. There's never been any lawsuit of any fighter saying Bob Arum didn't pay me what I was owed on this contract. You gotta remember, Bob's a lawyer. So Bob's not gonna cheat you to beat you. Now, here's the thing. Bob's not gonna overpay you. Like he told Teofimo, this fight is not worth $3 million, and I'm not giving it to you. So if you can find somebody to give you $3 million, go ahead. But I'm not giving it to you because it's not worth it to me.
ATL is in the building. What's popping, King? He said, "Salute, Queen."
You know what I'm saying? So that's the problem they have with Bob. Like he was telling Sean Porter, what's the most money you've ever made? $2 million. Why would I pay you more than that? You've never made more than $2 million.
I think that dude a scrub. I think Bob has. I can't prove it either way, but I think he has. But I do believe that Terrence got a case. I actually submitted to the.
Win.
Yeah, I submitted
the contract.
That I did a little soliloquy on Bob being Scrooge. I wish he was here, Shelton. Like I found some on YouTube that broke down like what Scrooge is in a nutshell, like the breakdown of the Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. And then as the guy was breaking down each character, at the bottom of the screen, I was putting up Bob, Terrence, Tiny Tim with Shakur Stevens. And I said, look, Bob is going to be trying to save face like a mug. He going to become Santa Claus. And sure enough, Shakur got the Valdez fight. Because Valdez, he understand is Bob loved Bob more.
The court case coming up, but he don't want to look like a racist.
He trying to save it, yeah. And so, so the racial thing is hard to prove when you talk about racist stuff. Racial bias, I don't think is as hard, but that's not on trial. So we clear to everybody listening, it's not on trial, but they can ask, why didn't you get the fight with Pacquiao and Spence? Now he can him in the heart said we tried with Spence. They're gonna be like, well, prove it. And Bob ain't gonna be able to prove it because he didn't. And then they're gonna say, well, Pacquiao worked for you. Why didn't you? So what's his answer gonna be? Because he's already
fucked himself on that account because he said of his own mouth, I blocked the Pacquiao fight because Manny's my friend and I didn't want him to get hurt. He said that.
That's not his obligation. So you showing bias. Why would you show bias? Why? You can keep saying why, and then the prosecutor could be, or the attorneys could say, I submit to you it's because Bud is black and Manny's not. Then it'd be up for a jury to decide.
And it's hard to prove otherwise.
Yeah, but other than that, he got the proof with Manny Pacquiao, I believe, because
he said that out of his own mouth. That's how he made his own video. I blocked the Pacquiao fight. I didn't want Manny to get hurt.
And so, and then in the lawsuit, they got punitive damages and other damages that they haven't mentioned that the jury is going to get to decide. So even though the amount is set at the bar of 10 million, it's gonna probably be way more than that.
Oh, boy, finna come up. Yeah, he finna get a nice little piece of change.
Yep. But I'm
Get a
gonna
nice
close,
little piece of change.
I'm gonna close it down. I so
So,
am
I'm
thankful
so
that
glad
you're
to see
safe.
you. I'm glad to be healthy, and thank you for your prayers. I really appreciate
Oh
it.
yeah. I'm like, what my boo boo? I'm glad you came in. You can say, if you can, look, if you can, stay away. Let me mute you because it's echoing. If you can, stay away from the cigarettes. But see, I used to smoke cigarettes, and I know how hard it is, and you can fall back. So I'm gonna support you either way you go. But I hope you stay away from the cigarettes.
I'll just stay away from them, and I'll be coming your way. What is this? This is January. I'll be coming your way probably about May or June.
For who?
You know what I was telling you about? Me and DJ and Centos, we all gonna hook up. So,
and you know, I thought about that. Look, look, I got you on mute because the echo. But you know that's inappropriate for a lady to be partying with married dudes. Yeah. Did you think about that when you was? I know your heart was in the right place. I'm like, what is Sheldon talking about?
Hey, we just trying to watch some boxing. You know, none of that other stuff. You know, everybody knows their situation, and we are all adults. So it's like we said that night we was having that we was on your show on that Friday. It all starts with self-respect for yourself. You gotta have respect for yourself. If you don't have respect for yourself, you don't have respect for anyone else.
That's true. If
I'm not man enough at this age. If I'm not man enough to know my limitations, know what I'm supposed to do and what I'm not supposed to do, and how I'm supposed to act, you shouldn't want to be my friend anyway.
Nah, you know you my boy, but you know, like I always like to tell guys, women don't get the luxury all the way to be just like guys. We just don't. That's not we're brought up and raised.
I understand that, but I know for me, my wife, we don't do them type of things. Look, we got this saying: if I got to worry about what the fuck you doing 24 hours a day, I need to find something else to do. I ain't got enough time. It's not enough hours in the day for that. I got too much other shit on my plate to be worrying about what the fuck you're supposed to know what to do.
You remember what I said? I didn't get the white picket fence and the dog, so fuck
exactly. Exactly. If you can't control yourself,
yeah.
You know, my wife's in Vegas right now. If you can't control yourself, then I don't know, because I'm not gonna do it for you. And hey, if somebody can beat my time, have at it. Have at it.
Yeah, but you know, like I see your point, dog. But again, I can't speak for every dude in the world. You know what I'm saying?
Right, exactly.
So I got to go by woman.
I know for a fact from prior dealings that DJ knows how to conduct himself.
Almost,
and I know he knows how to conduct himself.
Almost that DJ Big Daddy over there. That's my boy. Yeah. Matter of fact, we supposed to be talking. I think DJ said it for Thursday. Every Thursday he gonna come through and we're gonna talk that MMA stuff if we can.
Yeah, MMA Thursday. Yeah, he loves that shit.
Yeah.
He's coming out here. They're supposed to be coming out here. Because for the he's thinking about coming out here for the Charlo fight. They moved the Charlo fight here. They moved it out here. Castaño, yeah, they moved it out here. I don't know why, but they moved it to Staples.
I hope this shit is free on TV.
It will be. It will be.
You know, I don't buy the Charlos. I don't buy the Charlos anymore.
No, Charlos, they don't do pay-per-view numbers well.
They cooning.
They don't do. Yeah, they'll do. But yeah, so you know it's all gonna work out. But thanks for the support. I appreciate it. And I will see you tomorrow, Mr.
Exactamundo. Thank you guys for joining in and listening to us chop it up. Look, hit the like buttons. Cause I swear when I get off, there's more people in here than I see. Hit the motherfucking like button.
Man,
I tell y'all niggas this every day. Like, this is crazy to me. Like, what the fuck are they reckless eyeballing for? If you ain't hit the like button.
Yeah, they don't know nothing about that time.
They don't know nothing about that. Went right over their head. But anyway, you know you all right, welcome.
I'm out at you tomorrow.
All right. Peace, King.
Yeah.